Hey guys, so Happy New Year. It's 2018. Woohoo! And I figured I would just do another little channel update like I did around this time last year. Kind of go through what's happened on the channel in the past year and what I plan for the next year. And who knows, maybe I'll get into some of my own personal resolutions as well, but we'll see. So let's just get started. So just a few little facts about the channel over the past year. Beginning of last year, I had 300 subscribers. Now I have 35,000. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. And hopefully this year, my goal is to get to 100,000. If I can do better than that, that would be great. If I don't get there, well, no harm done, but that's the goal. Over the past year, I also posted close to 40 videos, which, if you can believe that, I don't personally believe that, but I went through and I counted them, and it is close to 40, depending on how you actually count. It's somewhere like 36, around that range, 36, 38. My goal in the next year is to try to do one a week, and it's really hard to do because some of these videos take me a long time, obviously. But that is the goal. So one a week. I'm going to try to also publish on a more regular schedule. My goal for the last little while has been to shoot on Tuesdays and publish on Thursdays. Those are my kind of days off. And obviously, I haven't been able to stick to that regimented of a schedule. But that's the goal, and that's kind of kept me doing maybe around one a week at least, even if they're not on Thursdays. But we'll see if I can get even closer to that in the new year. And I want to do hopefully 52 videos over the next year. And some other improvements to the channel that I'm planning. I do have some equipment upgrades coming. I had kind of a little, I don't know if any of you watched The Office, but one of their little moments where, for accounting purposes, had to go on kind of a spending spree at the end of the year. So I've got some new lights already. We'll see how this works, how this looks afterwards. I may change the setup a little bit. I've got some new camera equipment coming and some other stuff. Over the past year, I've done a lot of upgrades iteratively. I don't know if any of you have noticed, my sound has been kind of an ongoing bugaboo. I've hopefully worked that out now. I've got a sound recorder, portable sound recorder that I can easily sync up with my camera later, and that I think has been doing a lot better for me. And yeah, so hopefully the videos are going to be a little more frequent. They're going to be a little more polished looking, I hope. I haven't gotten everything yet, so this one probably isn't, but coming soon. And better sounding, even as I still learn how to use my sound recorder a little better. Now, as far as some specific things coming up on the channel, as far as videos and other things, I posted a poll in my channel a little while ago. YouTube now has this community tab. I figured it was probably a black hole where you post something and nobody ever sees it, but strangely enough, I posted one poll. Very first thing I posted, hundreds of you have already voted on it. If you haven't voted yet, please be my guest. Go check out the community tab on my channel and vote for what kinds of videos you want to see me make over the coming year. Right now, not surprisingly, retro computing is vastly in the lead, and that tells me that a lot of my subscribers are still coming from that $20 laptop video that I made. That video has gotten about 3 million, a little more than 3 million views. That's my most viral video. It's the one that has kind of really gone viral, I guess. And I've gotten a lot of subscribers from that video. And obviously they're interested in retro computing. So there's always a balance when you have a YouTube channel of doing things for your current subscribers versus doing things to try to get new subscribers. And, of course, doing things that I want to do. Now, when I started this channel, the first video that I ever did was about my brand new, at the time, ThinkPad P50. The next two videos that I did were both about turntables. And the fifth video that I did was about my Intellivision. So This channel has always been about a mix of stuff. It's not going to change. I love retro gaming. I know some of you guys, somebody commented in that poll that if this channel turns into just another retro gaming channel, I'm unsubscribing. It's not going to be only a retro gaming channel, but there's going to be retro gaming. I'm just letting you know because I love retro gaming. And to an extent, those videos are kind of the easiest to do. I have a video capture station set up. You know, I have all these game consoles and other, you know, retro computers that I mainly use as game machines these days. So there's going to be some retro gaming. There's going to be some audio and video. I want to do those things, but I recognize that you guys, my current subscribers, want to see more retro computing. So to that end, I do have a lot of cool stuff planned. The problem with doing a lot of retro computing videos is you have to have the stuff to film, and I don't have a lot of retro computing stuff. You know, back in the old days, I would just throw stuff out like anybody else. I haven't collected a lot of retro computing stuff since then, but, you know, if you mean things other than IBM PCs, yes, I do have an Atari ST that I've been meaning to film. I have a TI-99 4A. I have a lot of like other kinds of retro computers, Commodore 64. I'm actually planning to do a video first on how to choose a classic computer. If you're just getting into classic computers, you kind of don't know where to start, I'll have a video for you about that. I'm planning to do an Apple II primer. I've done a video on Apple IIs in general, but again, people seem to like buyer's guides. So I'm going to kind of talk about the different models of Apple II, you know, the pros and cons of each if you're just getting started. So that's another retro computing video. And right now I'm actively looking for, I love ThinkPads, and I've done several videos on them already. My most popular video ever is on a ThinkPad, and there have been several really interesting models of ThinkPad over the years, and I'm actively looking for those right now to do some video features on those. The Transnote, the Butterfly keyboard, the BBJ, there have been a few others. I've got alerts set up for all of them now, so hopefully once some good examples of those show up, I'll jump on them, get them on video for you guys. Now, I'll just run through a couple more videos that are either in production right now or that I'm planning as kind of among the next few that I do. I've got a video on Super Audio CD coming up. That one's going to be kind of an addendum to my surround sound audio, multi-channel audio, whatever, quad audio kind of video that I did a little while back. SACD was the one format. I mentioned it in the video, but I didn't have it to test at the time. I'm going to have it. It's on the way, and I'm going to test it, and I'll do a little video about it. There's some things you need to know if you want to get into SACD, some things you need to know today about what you need to do it. I've been planning for a long time this history of Sega game consoles video. That's coming soon. I've got almost all the stuff that I want to start doing it. All the game consoles that I think I need. All the games. I've got the knowledge. What knowledge I don't got, I'm getting. I've got a couple books that I'm reading right now, doing some research. Most of it I know. I lived through it, and I read a lot even at the time, but got to refresh the memory there. And I'll be crediting, whatever sources I use, so don't worry about that. But that'll be a fun video, but probably a long one. Then you can probably see behind me, I've got an Intellivision in kind of a state of nakedness. And I don't know if you see the motherboard back there even. I am repairing my Bandai Intellivision, and I've hit a couple snags with that. So that was supposed to be up by now, but it's not. But that will probably be the next one. I'm just waiting for a couple of parts to arrive so that I can finish that. My Model M, my IBM Model M bolt mod, periodically I get asked when I'm doing that. It's coming. I have everything that I need except a drill guide. So once I get that, and maybe after I finish another couple of these videos, I know you're waiting for that. So it's coming. And then I really want to do a video just on rail shooters. I love rail shooters. All kinds of rail shooters, going back to like Space Harrier, and then, you know, Planet Harriers was one of my favorites, even though it never appeared in the home. I love the Panzer Dragoon series. I love Rez. And then even modern VR ones like Rush of Blood Until Dawn. I love it. I love those games, and there's just not enough of them. So I want to take a video and just appreciate the best of them. Maybe talk a little about the history. I don't know if it's going to be kind of like a top 5 or more of an in-depth, longer video. I mean, those take a while to do again, but I really want to just talk about rail shooters for a while. So watch for that, and watch for all those. And, you know, I've got a whole kind of production list of videos that I want to do. And I'm sure I've either put that up for you already or I'm putting it up right now. But you can take a look. I don't know if you can make head or tail out of it. And some of that will change. Some of those will never happen. And there will be things added. And that's also just what I know of now. So if you guys have any ideas, feel free to put them in that poll as a comment, or just leave them as a comment here. I can't promise that I'm going to make all your ideas, but sometimes people do give me ideas and I say, hey, that's not bad, and I make it. So let me just close this then by giving you a couple of, I don't want to call them resolutions, but just some hopes, some desires, some things that I really want to see happen in 2018. The first is all the stuff I said about my channel. I really hope that all happens. But second, I really want VR to keep growing and to keep expanding. And, you know, I've talked about VR. I love it. I see it as a permanent technology. I know a lot of you don't yet, but it's something that's kind of still in its infancy. It's taking a long time to develop, but it is developing, and it has been since the 80s. It's gotten better and better. It's still getting better, but it's one of those things that's kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And it feels right now like we're kind of in the 1 step back phase. It didn't explode like people thought it would in 2017. It did grow. There are more headsets. There's more games. There are more people into it. There are more people evangelizing it like me. But it didn't become the next big thing, which it feels like people are always looking for now. And really, stop. I mean, stop looking for the next big thing. There's no next big thing. There's just come out with new ideas and nurture them. And that's what I hope to see happen with VR. Keep it growing, keep it expanding. We want new headsets. We want more powerful headsets. I'm not too happy with what I've seen from Oculus in the past year. They're kind of going backwards. The Oculus Go and even the Project Santa Cruz, they're just not as powerful as the Rift. I get it. There's no cord, but we need more powerful headsets that are also cordless. So that's what I hope to see. And, you know, I want to see more games, and I want to see more people get into it because it's a great technology. I want AtGames to step up their game. I love the fact that AtGames has been making flashback devices for years. I bought the first one that they ever made. Actually, I think it was before they were even doing the flashbacks. I think they started that around the Atari Flashback 3 or something like that. But, you know, I love that they're doing it. They've had a big hand in the retro video game revival, and I give them a lot of credit for that. But they really need, at this point, to get on top of their emulation. And, you know, I posted a video about the portable Genesis, which I still think is a really cool little device, and I use it and I enjoy it. But almost every comment on that video complains about the sound. Why do people keep writing new ones? I don't know. It's just almost like a piling on thing. But they are right that it does need to have better sound. And even this year's models, well, last year's models now, didn't fix that. So at games, you got to fix your sound. If you did, I think a lot more people would support you. So that's another thing I'm hoping for this year. And I really hope Nintendo keeps it going. I've talked about Nintendo in several of my other videos. I want to like Nintendo. I do sort of have a love-hate relationship with them. But with everybody else, all the other consoles and computers and everything going to this kind of dark, all the games are brown, everything is dark, you can barely even see anything. Everything's either like a first or third person shooter of some kind. I'm really happy to see Nintendo having success with bright, colorful, I called them cutesy games in another video, and I do still think their games are kind of overly precious a lot of the time. But on the other hand, they've announced Bayonetta 1 and 2 for the Switch. So that's the kind of game I want to see on the Switch and really anywhere. And if Nintendo can have success with those kinds of games, other developers will follow suit. Other developers will develop for the Switch, and they'll kind of alter their style. I mean, every decade or so, we seem to have kind of a stylistic shift in console gaming, and it's brought upon by whatever's popular at the time. All the developers kind of copy whatever becomes popular. And so hopefully that's actually happening now. I may not be a huge fan of Nintendo's own games, but I do like bright, colorful, I love old Sega games, for example. They were bright and colorful too, and they were fun, and they were action-filled, and, Bayonetta was originally published by Sega. So those are the kind of games that I hope to see coming back. I think there's a large market out there for, not Sega games specifically, but for just kind of a different tone in console games, which is just lighter and more action and, I hate to say it, but less violent. And that's not because I got some philosophical disagreement with violence. The Walking Dead is my favorite TV show, but just it gets tiresome after a while. I play a game like Mario, and it may not be my favorite game, but it is a game that I can say, this is fun. And that's what I'm looking for when I play games. So I hope to see Nintendo become even more successful so that others will follow them and kind of do the same thing, but a little different. And then we'll have another one of those stylistic shifts, and we can maybe even get back to a little bit more of what I always thought console gaming should be. And, well, that's just my opinion. But that's really about it for now. I wonder what you guys want to see in the new year, either from the gaming industry, from retro gaming, from retro computing, from me as a video maker, whatever. Leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, by the way, please do so. A lot of stuff that I watch, I've watched channels for a long time that I never subscribed to, and if you watch my videos and you like them, just please subscribe. It helps me out. So that's it. Hopefully I'll be finishing up this Intellivision video pretty soon. I can bring you that, and then some of these others that I listed out for you earlier, and whatever else you guys suggest. So I will see you next time. Bye-bye.